stream, but maybe it needs to be a really quick live stream. So the topic, Nepal flood, was it China? Was it the government of China? Was it climate change? Or was it God? I think as someone who survived the North Carolina flood and moved out of there a year in advance and basically was prepared for COVID because God spoke to me then as well, and I did a 3,000 kilometer trek before lockdowns. I've found consistently that my connection with God and my lack of connection with my ego has kept me safe from a lot of natural disasters and inconveniences created that come as a byproduct of living in this human-made society that we live in. And what it comes down to for me is there is a force of consciousness out there that is greater than all these narratives, all these stories. It's God. There is a force out there that is all seeing, is all knowing, and you can go on all of the pilgrimages that you want to try to find that. But if your real connection with that is severed, you might potentially find yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time. And like in Nepal, at the wrong place at the wrong time. And I am so grateful that I went on this journey to shed myself of wanting to be attached to the ego and the ego story and the ego narrative a long time ago. I realized it doesn't serve, and I look at people, even spiritual people now, and think, I feel for them. I feel that they're on the wrong path. And it's led me to a real humbling of myself and my existence. Because you watch enough tragedies, and then, God makes you, or at least in my case, makes me aware so far in advance to avoid these kind of things. And then I see people so severed from what that God truly is, getting stuck in these catastrophic situations. And it makes me, now I'm at the point in my spiritual journey where I've gone beyond the insanity that came along with knowing and prophetically being aware of these situations. Because for a long time it drove me nuts, really, that I could escape these situations and that I could have such a strong connection with God, and yet, individuals like Sadhguru, who was personally deeply affected by this event, he lost multiple, I think like 77 members. So, yeah, I was saying, it's really wild to see Sadhguru actually having a spiritual experience. He's a mystic, and being a mystic and connecting with mystical energies and going to Kailash and connecting with devas and aliens and whatever he does, and doing yoga and feeling superhuman is great. But he claims to know the past, present, and future, and yet he couldn't see this coming. He couldn't see this flood coming that was going to take the lives of 77 members of his Isha community. And so it leaves me in this place of like, I know what my connection with God is, and 2 times now, God has prepared me in a graceful way to experience first COVID. Like, I was so prepared for that. 3,000-kilometer walk and then shut down, no problem. You know, and God also sent me a message in my art, and then with North Carolina a year in advance, warning me, telling me not to buy land there, and I left. And it's this I'm at an interesting place in my life now where I'm grateful for the connection that I have with God. And like I was saying at the beginning of this live stream, I'm humbled. I'm humbled, and I'm glad that I'm not creating a life that is centered around my ego, but a life that is centered around God. And whatever that greater force is, because it truly is a greater force, and there are a lot of forces out there, like the Chinese government, who might have made this happen. And even if they did, there's a force out there that's greater than all of this, that can make you aware of the greater workings of the universe, of the human mind, of the agendas. Like,
I want to get out of this.
God is a force.
I want it.
God is a force.
No, I don't want that. I want the other one. No, I want the other thing.
You could say a force.
The
I don't
other
know which
thing.
other thing.
I wanted the thing. I wanted the video of me.
Oh, you have to make a new one. I don't know how to do that. I get that. God is a force, and it's showing me that it's truly greater than even Mother Nature, because you've seen the force of Mother Nature, what Mother Nature can do, and honestly, I think that striving to live as a functioning member of a society, a human society.
Hey, where's my video?
You're not recording.
I recorded.
Nope. That's the recording.
I recorded.
Okay, Leilani, I'm live, so please. This is recording, and if you want to play it over, then you have to do that. Okay? What Mother Nature can you take it in the other room, please? So, yeah, trying to strive to be a member of this human society where, whether you want to call it climate change or government corruption or a combination of all of it, our architecture can't stand up against the forces of Mother Nature. You know, at the end of the day, if you're not aligned with God, what do you want?
I want the audio up.
Okay, it's up, but can you take it into your room, please? Thank you. If you're not aligned with God, I'm really at this point in my life where
I can't hear it, Mama.
there's no audio then, Leilon.
Because it's not recording.
I'm really angry. I'm angry. I'm really, really furious, actually.
My video that I made is not
Because
recording.
I just wonder how many people are going to continue to subscribe to a life where they're not aligned with God and where they're striving for anything other than liberation. You know, a nice house, living in paradise, when you know that at any moment that paradise could be washed clean.
Where's my video?
You know, at any moment it could be gone. Why take the risk? Can you take it in the other room, please? So yeah, it's funny, like, I called up the Isha Center
When I do
in Tennessee.
when I do the films, it doesn't work.
I don't know.
Why no films?
I don't know, Leilani. I don't want to do that right now, okay? I'm trying to do a live for the first time in a week. Okay? I think you can figure it out. So I called up the Isha Center
Mama,
in Tennessee
Mama,
because
I want my film. I don't want the video.
I don't know what you mean, Leilani.
I want to see mine. I want to see the real me, not the video. Hey, Mama.
Here, the real you?
No, give him to
Okay.
me.
It's frustrating, because I feel so detached. Like, I felt like I had really detached from it. I was like, it doesn't really matter what happens to everybody else in the world as long as God is keeping me safe. As long as I'm getting the messages, and on Monday, so I have this interesting connection with betta fish, specifically, obviously, like fish in general, but betta fish. And I had these 2 betta fish in North Carolina that I got there, and then a week before the massive flood, both of them died. And it was incredibly emotional for me, like, it sounds really silly, but I really connected myself to those fish, and I cried a lot, and I was very sad. It was like an ending. It was a symbol of an ending for me. But then it was just so obvious to me, like, God has sent me messages and through symbolism multiple times with these fish, with this fish.
Tell him you got a new
And then
one.
on Monday,
Tell them you got a new band fish.
I did. And then on Monday,
Just tell them
I
you
did,
got...
Leilani, I told them. And then on Monday, 3 days before the 26th, when the flood happened, I found myself in Petco getting my dog groomed and feeling this overwhelming flood of emotion for this fish that was there suffering, this betta fish. And I said, I'm going to take this fish and bring it home and try to heal it. And I did. And it might be hard for you to understand that symbolism, but for me, having the strong connection that I do with God, I can, it's always hindsight though. And that's what I've learned. It's like trying to understand the symbolism that God sends. For me at this moment in time is always hindsight. And symbolically speaking, it's interesting because in 2020, the first real powerful message that I got from God was not only that I was in communication with God when I was in the Himalayas, but that my communication with God at this moment in time is always 2020. It's like I don't understand. So the first message I got was in 2020. And now whenever I receive messages through God, it's through this symbolism, whether it's like a fish or through art. The message is always hindsight. It's always 2020. It's like I'm not in the present moment, and I'm not able to relay that message clearly like a true prophet to help anyone. So yeah, I was saying I called up Isha Center in Tennessee, Sadhguru's place, because I don't know, I just felt like maybe there's a chance I could get through to him and like actually speak to him. I think if I was in a place that was more conducive to my spirituality, or if I was surrounded by people who were more spiritual, then there's a real chance that whatever this is, when God speaks to me, or when I get intuition or hindsight, or not hindsight, when I get intuition or insight, that there's a chance that I could help not just myself, but other people to escape these tragic circumstances. And as you can see, like, I'm not directly connected to the flood, and like, honestly, I was just, you know, but floods I do feel connected to and emotionally on some level affected by, because I literally was this close to buying land in North Carolina in an area that would have been devastating for me to live in. So I feel for these people when I see those videos, and I feel this strong connection with floods. And also, biblically speaking, floods are like, they're connected. The symbolism is connected. It's like, with, it's, the symbolism is greatly closely connected to God, historically and biblically speaking, these floods. Because yes, like, things like wildfires, earthquakes, they're devastating, but like, when you see the force of these floods, there's nothing quite like it. And being human and being 98% water, you know, in some level we deeply resonate with that. And I think in all the years I've followed Sadhguru and his trips to Tibet and his trips to Kailash, you know, I've never seen the man cry. I never feel it. I don't. Sadhguru, and I did his inner engineering course as well, and like, I've been following him since the real beginning of my spiritual journey. I never really feel like I've seen his real face. He's always been this sort of strong, rehearsed character, and he narrowly escaped that flood by like a week. But 77 people in his Isha center didn't, who went on the next trek. And how a man who devotes his life to knowing the past, present, and future, to being mystical and spiritual, could not foresee this. And yet here I am, just beginning, in a sense, my spiritual journey and my connection with God really since 2020 is when it's really been most powerful. Beginning to understand the symbolism in my life of when God tries to talk to me, tries to warn me of things that are coming. Through symbolism and art, sometimes dreams.
Mama, it's this film.
That's very cool.
It's the running film. It's the fast film on the road.
And spiritually speaking, you know, the flood, the first area in Tibet that it got rid of was the literal border crossing. Like, God, if you want to look at it from a higher perspective, like, if it was the Chinese government who did this, why would they wipe out the border crossing? I mean, this is, you know, that I don't understand, but on some level I don't need to understand that. I don't need to understand that, because I have a connection with God, and I know that humanity would be a much better place if we lived in peace and if we didn't have borders.
Mama, I want to go under this blanket.
So
I want to go under it. No, I want to go under.
So I just want to take a moment to just take a moment of silence, because I feel like
Really fast. Oh.
that's what's needed. And I'm not trying to ride a wave right now of like get views or anything like that. For me, this is personal. This is about me understanding my connection to God, my journey with God, my experiences escaping, not even escaping, getting out of places that God like basically gave me a sign to leave in graceful amounts of time with no stress. And versus the people who are living in these areas and they think they're connected with God, but then these things happen and they find themselves in the wrong places at the wrong times. And this is where true liberation comes from in this life. I mean, really, does the world really need another banker? Does the world really need another spiritual guru who's not actually connected to something? Who's just making a business out of spirituality? Does the world really need more real estate brokers? Does the world really need all of these things? Or does the world need more genuine prophets who are connected with God? Who are trying to connect others to that God, whether it's the God within themselves or the greater God outside of us? Ask yourself that question, really, because deeply at your core, your being, your soul inherently knows the truth. You know. Somewhere deep down, you know that this existence is short, it is fleeting, and that many of us live a life that's truly not meaningful. But we do it because we don't really know another way, or we don't really have the courage to break free of the life that we've been conditioned and told that we need to live. And it's funny because I thought for the last week or so that I haven't gone live that my silence was just depletion, but it was actually something heavier. I think trying to come through and communicate to me, other than, you know, all the silly, like, shallow health, high vibe stuff that I've been trying to share and put out there. The world needs more depth. And a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video all emotional and crying about the loss of my grandparents' farm. And then, of course, I put it on private because it was, you know, not good for my brand and my brand image. Again, succumbing to the narrative that says you are not good enough for this world, for this Western society, if you're real with other human beings about your emotions, if you're real that the brushed up, buffed out, chiseled, like
Who's that?
the egotistical version of you is the one that only society would accept. And don't you dare show your real feelings. Don't you dare show
Don't you dare show your weaknesses. Unless you should happen to find yourself as a victim in a flood, a massive catastrophe. Something that pushes you to your limits so you have no other capacity other than to share your true self then.
Ooh.
But all the rest of the time when things are going good, it's okay to wear that mask and not be your real self. Which is, on some level, what I've been doing for the last week. I haven't been on here. I haven't been going live. Why? Because I had created this brand image of myself. And these expectations that I had to live up to. Right? I wasn't even meeting my own expectations. At some point, it was like, I can't show up as the real me. I'm changing all the time. Oh, for the algorithm, I have to stick to what gets the most views, right? Or I'm going to confuse the algorithm and I'll never get any views and I'll never make any money. Well, you know what? I'm not taking any of that money to the grave with me. And if I live to be 100 years, I'm already halfway through my life. And for at least half of my life, money has not been the number one driving and motivating factor for my choices, clearly. And like a lot of people would say, you know, because the majority of people subscribe to that idea of life, that what kind of person am I? Going against the grain and wanting to live a liberated and free life. Where I'm not chasing the dollar or the rupee or some form of currency. Like, who am I? But I think I'm reaching a certain level of maturity in my life at 40 now. Which is wonderful because when you reach this age, you start to not really care what anyone thinks. And for me, spiritually, and in terms of what I have to put out there, it's incredibly liberating because even spiritual communities that I've found don't really understand me because they're a business.
Here.
Even they are a business.
Here.
And there are very few people out there who are known to the world who are truly deeply spiritual. You know why? Because they're not a business. And their story and their connection with God is something that they unfortunately can't monetize because in a lot of words it cannot be explained. Imagine if who was it, Moses who saw the burning bush? If today that happened in a world of AI, would you even believe it, that miracle? Probably not. So the world, in terms of finding God, has become even more complicated than, I'd say, more complicated than ever. But I think with all those choices, the path to truly finding God and finding liberation has become easier because you just kind of have to say nati nati. This is not it. This is not it. This is not it. This is not it. None of it.
No.
And just find like the simplicity.
Implicity.
And the disconnection from all of it.
And the disconnection of all of it.
And come home to yourself.
And come home to yourself.
So You know,
How I go back to myself?
my
How I
spiritual
go back to
journey
myself?
and my path has been so real for me.
No, I want to go back to me.
And it's hard
I don't
to
want the
explain in
video.
words.
Yep, you fixed it. You fixed it.
But I will say this, that it is real. It is so real, and it's not something necessarily that we even need to express to anyone else, for anyone else to understand, our unique connection with God and our journey. But I guess just know that everyone has the ability to have that connection and have that safety and protection that comes from having that connection to source. And it's so funny because it always comes through for me at very potent and powerful times, with floods, with pandemics. It's always like the big ones when God comes through and is like, hey Brooke, be aware of this. I'm gonna start to send you some signs. And so at 40, I look around me and I look at my loved ones and I look at...
You already have one loved one. It's me.
Yeah, that's right. I look at my loved ones, I look at my family members, and I see their journey, and I see how they look at me and how they perceive me. But as this person who, to them, maybe in their eyes, has been misguided, but you know what's funny? In the West, we don't understand this life truly is about knowing yourself, discovering your unique path here on this earth, in this life, in this body as you. And that's what we're here for. And at the very least, we should look to people who have chosen a different path that goes against the grain and applaud them. And definitely not fear them. Or berate them, you know. Like, it's just so heavy. The energy of this eclipse, the lunar eclipse that we had yesterday, and prior to that, just this whole month, the energy's, it's heavy.
Look at this.
For sure. That was so silly. But on some level, that's the way things are. Nothing is ever the same. Everything is always changing all the time, right? We have seasons, we have times when things are lighter and fun, and then we have times where the world is heavier, the energy is heavier. Trying to be the same all the time and thinking that every day can be the same energy, the same you, the same me. It's just, the universe isn't like that. It's a mask. You're just wearing a mask, going through life. Oh, here's the same day again, and the same energy again, and it's not like that at all. Every single day is different. Every single second is different. And I will continue to peck and push away at this solidified ego structure, this solidified, this creation that we live in right now that is built on the solidified ego structure of egotistical people trying to express their existence through narcissistic narratives, trying to make everybody believe that they should all be the same way, they should all think the same way, we should all live the same way, we should all behave the same way, we should all get in line. So at this point in my life, it's like sometimes I get in line, and sometimes I show up on YouTube for 36 minutes and get super duper spiritual with kind of frizzy hair and talk about something in horizontal mode, knowing that I probably won't get many viewers, and just accept that on some level that's the bigger and deeper message. And accept that this moment in time is probably more valuable to me than all the other moments in time where I was doing things to try to get views or to fit in or not being authentic. So yeah, I was going to take that moment of silence. Let's take that moment of silence now. Not just for the people in Nepal and for the other disasters that will literally probably occur because we just had a gnarly lunar eclipse and Super El Nino is looming and...
What's Super El Nino?
Super El Nino
Who's
is
Super El
a weather
Nino?
pattern that when I get off this live I'll research, and that'll be our homeschool topic for today, I guess.
That's what it is, Mama?
No, I'll explain it to you. I'm about to end this live. I'll explain it to you in a second. But yeah, let's take that moment of silence, not just for those people and for these impending looming events, but also for the people who are so disconnected from themselves and from God and from that inner voice, from the God within themselves. Let's take a moment of silence to help bring everyone into that centered awareness of who they truly are, disconnected from the past. So the past, everything outside us that we perceive and that we see is what we wanted to create in the past and what we ultimately achieve. This tree that I bought, that bookshelf that I inherited from my grandparents, like all of this stuff is from a past version of us. So when we go within, when we regulate our nervous systems through meditating, we connect to what is within us, that is where the pure potential lies. And that is us being truly present in the moment and disconnected from all that currently is, all that currently doesn't work for us, or all that we are ready to eclipse out of our lives. And it's these attachments to things, to people, to all the things that we worked so hard to earn in the past, but maybe they don't serve us anymore, that keeps us stuck in places that could potentially take our very lives from us.
Ma?
Wrong place at the wrong time. And God probably tried to send you a message. Your inner self probably tried to send you a message. It's time to go. It's time to leave. Go on vacation. Get out of there. Move. But you didn't listen. And you really literally need to shake off that rigidity, that ignorance that you have that's telling you that you need to stay stuck in that situation or that place or whatever it is that is weighing you down and not serving you. And off the topic of God and on the topic of astrology, we are in the eclipse season now for the next 2 days. It's really the end of it, I think.
I don't want to leave.
She's making a video.
I don't want to leave.
And this is the time to eclipse things out of your life that don't serve you and liberate you.
Oh, I don't want to leave.
So you can be in the right place in the world
no,
for you.
I don't want to leave. No.
Leilani,
No,
I'm just gonna wrap this video up. Can you stop for a sec?
I don't want to leave.
She's recording this silly video on YouTube Shorts.
I'm not
So,
recording
yeah.
it.
Let's have that moment of silence now. Let's do it.
I don't
Leilani,
wanna-
we're gonna have a moment of silence, okay? Shh. Leilani.
But Mom, I don't want to be
We're
quiet.
having a moment of silence, please. Just a moment. And now I'm going to do a little prayer. Dear God, as always, I'm so grateful for your presence in my life and for all the ways that you continue to speak to me and for you answering my prayers on the daily. And I've been praying to you, God, more than ever lately for the benefit, for the health and the well-being of all beings. And I often find myself confused when I see these devastating events occurring in the world. However, on some level, I understand how they do occur. And I feel, God, that at the level at which the world has awakened to, it's become so clear to me that it's you, that
How do you know?
in order for beings to avoid these situations, they need to find you, and they need to shed all of their constructs and become open to the realization that life is more than this 3D matrix reality, achieving and earning and vacations and all of these things that our ego likes to deem as a valuable life. That the yogic spiritual journey is truly one of miracles and as otherworldly as it seems.
Look at this.
That's amazing. I'm praying right now. As otherworldly as it seems to be aligned with God, this is actually how things should be. And that the way that the majority of people are living today is actually completely out of alignment with God and with their destiny and with their true life path. And I pray that more and more people come to this realization. And dear God, I can't wait to see a world where there is less and less catastrophes.
Where's YouTube Shorts?
And even if there are, we have more awakened beings who realize that they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and their connection with God is not as strong as it should be.
What's this animal? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? What's that? You don't know?
Dear God, I pray that people see this video, the important people who need to see it, who truly understand that I'm coming from a place of truth. I've had many people discredit my spiritual journey or not credit it at all or not acknowledge it. And dear God, the truth is the majority of my life for the last since 2012, at least over a decade, has been spiritual, mainly spiritual. And yet I show up on YouTube daily as if this isn't who I am, as if spirituality is just a closeted hobby of mine that I pull out every now and again, when in reality, every day
Look at this.
I listen to
Look at it.
a minimum.
Look at this.
I see that. It's amazing. A minimum of 1 hour to 2 hours of Dharma talks or meditation videos or spiritual videos or yoga videos or guru videos or just anything and everything spiritual, just trying to understand anything and everything under the sun and in this universe, dear God. And I'm tired of living this dual life where what I'm truly interested in and what is truly serving me, I'm not able to show that side of me. And like Superman, or Superwoman. I'm like Brooke Brodak and some other person, you know. I show up as someone who's not spiritual, or every now and again I just bring up the miracles I've experienced. But the truth is, I'm living an incredibly spiritual experience since 2012. And I've always gravitated towards spirituality. And not just spirituality, because I think that the spiritual world that we live in and the spirituality community and the whole thing is pretty flawed. And like I said earlier, it's like it's a business now. And so this is a part of the reason why I don't come out and talk about it, why I don't get spiritual, because I fear losing my connection with God and growing a larger following around that. And I also fear my own
Look
spiritual
what I made.
experience. Oh wow.
I'm not. It's a
Cool.
goose.
Cool goose. I fear my own spiritual experience being discredited by those around me who don't understand how valuable this journey is for me. And how much I truly enjoy being a yogi, being a meditator, being spiritual, having a very real communication with God.
This looks delicious. This is delicious food, Mama. Just don't eat too much. Okay. Or you'll get a bellyache if you eat too much. Okay, Mom. I won't eat too much.
And I think I've finally matured enough on my path of spirituality to be able to say, I don't care. I don't care what anyone thinks anymore. And for a really long time I did. I was like, oh my god, this, like when I called up Isha today, and I was like, this person is going to think that I'm crazy when I tell them, you know, Sadhguru should have known, he should have seen that coming, and just telling her about my experiences with God. And at the same time I'm like, but that's so real. It's the truth. And if they think I'm crazy for telling the truth, for telling my truth, it's okay.
I have a baby.
Because
You want to see her?
I'm telling the truth.
Okay. Look at her.
What else can I say, you know?
You like her?
Like, it affected me in the past, being very psychic and empathic. I can kind of get the vibe of like what people are thinking of me and all of that. And that happened to me when I was at Mongolia Springs, you know, when I tried to come through and tell those people in North Carolina that basically there was something really bad headed their way. And they mocked me. But I've grown a tough shell around that now, you know, because it's like I know that this is true. It's my truth. It's true for me. And my connection with God has kept me safe so many times. And yeah, it's like every now and again I act on it and I put it out there, and like realistically speaking, I don't think I'm going to waste time trying to connect with Sadhguru because it doesn't feel like the right time. It's like he'll find me when he finds me. If he finds me. If he ever wants to get off his ego trip and truly connect with God, he'll find me. He'll find God. You know, like he probably won't find me, he'll find God. And that I'll be okay with. Because I'm not aiming to be a guru. I'm not aiming to have a following or even make money from this. But I am aiming to understand this path in this life, this connection with God and what it is, you know? It's so powerful. It's been so powerful for me. And I'm so grateful and so blessed to have such a strong and powerful connection with God, and to have such good life karma, to be born in a place, in a time, in a country, in a situation where I'm able to have that. I mean, that 3,000 kilometer trek that I took in India, it was like a dream. I barely got a mosquito bite. Like, if that's not divine intervention, interference, or connection, I don't know what is, you know? And yeah, so I don't know where I stand, really. What is the point of me existing with this knowledge in a world where everyone's out for the benefit of their ego on some level, even the people who are claiming to know God, even the people who are selling you a spiritual experience. But this is how God works. This is how God works. Like I said, for the first time since I've been following Sadhguru all these years, I saw him take off the mask when he had to announce the passing of his 77 followers in Tibet. I saw him take off the mask and shed tears. He cried a river, and he was a real human being. And so everyone eventually comes back around when they're ready.
What is this?
To that real connection with God. It's just some people are trying to cultivate that on a daily basis without having, like, some people are genuinely trying to cultivate that connection with God on a daily basis without needing to have a disaster or a death or something devastating to remind them that this life is impermanent. It's full of unknowns, but there is a greater force that we can get to know that can help to keep us out of harm's way genuinely. So, anyway, as I spiritually bypass and say anyway, because it's an hour that I've been talking and it's been a while since I've been back, but you know, I'm also shaking off old habit patterns, like, of, just, this year of the fire horse has been super real for me, and super powerful for me, and surreal for me in a lot of ways. And right before this eclipse season started in July or so, I don't know if you noticed, I was on fire. I was posting every day, and I was like, this is the new me, and this is what I'm doing, and I'm so excited, like, nothing is gonna stop me now. Well, then eclipse season started, and I was like tired and questioning myself and questioning going live every day instead of just hitting the red button. And
What red button?
my record button. And so, yeah, that's the way life is sometimes. Like, we think we know, and then the universe deals us a different hand, and we say, oh, okay, well, I guess this wasn't as powerful as I thought it was, and there were other things that I needed to look at, think about, and take a step back away from going live every single day and connecting with myself, to jump into that other reality that I was living prior to going live every single day for like 3 months, and revisit that and be like, oh, but is that actually how I want to live? And then realize, no, not really. Like, it was cool not going live every day. It was kind of alright, I guess. Not filming things and documenting things. And at the same time, I was very tired. I was feeling very sluggish. I was like not having a lot of fun. I was, sad that I wasn't really capturing all my memories. And so, yeah, I didn't really enjoy that. And one thing that I learned through that eclipse season was I love going live. I love communicating, astrologically speaking. My astrologer who read my chart to me told me that my pathway to success in this life is communicating. And so why would I run out to the dollar store and get a job just to like communicate with people when I have this outlet right here, right now, through you, to do the one thing that my astrologer says will bring me success in this life, okay? Like I could trust her and the literal alignment of the planets, or like cave to that lower vibration of like, but this is how you can make money now.
You don't like making money anymore.
So it was a very interesting experience, and it was a little demotivating, I'm not gonna lie, not to go live and not to share content over the last couple of weeks, and maybe I even got a little bit of burnout. Like
Oh, you're so short.
it's not easy.
You too.
Going live every day and trying to follow your life path destiny when you're not getting paid for it, and you just have to trust. You just have to trust, that it's gonna work out. And then also, it was super cool because during that time that I was going live, I got an opportunity to go to Miami to film a podcast. Fully paid for, and I was really excited about that, but then the reality that that offer wasn't even enough. Like it wasn't enough money. It wasn't enough, like, to arrange, to schedule my life around, like what to do about my daughter and how to go there and the time frame. So I'm still trying to figure that out, but that was also a bit of a bummer for me because I was riding this high vibe of like, this is awesome and I'm really enjoying this and wow, an opportunity. And I had posted in April that I was trying to manifest an opportunity to go to a tropical beach, and then it finally came to me in July, and I was like, this is awesome. This is so awesome. Like I posted it on my Facebook in April during that potent astrological time where it was like, whatever you try to manifest now, you will get it. Well, guess what? I got the opportunity, but not fully. But I'm still going to try to make that work. I'm still going to try to figure out how to do that podcast. Like, I have an RV that we purchased like 2 years ago in Tennessee that we still haven't picked up. And that would be a great way to kind of get my family on the road with me so I don't have to, I could take like a longer trip versus just a weekend away. Or maybe I'll just take a weekend away. I don't know what I'm going to do, but the last week or so, that's weird, stagnant week that I just spent in my life, or like 2 weeks, or I don't know how long, that I didn't go live. Oh man, did that drag on. So happy to be back, and even in my case, it's like I was feeling really connected with self and really connected with God. That's what was like motivating me to keep going live, to keep sharing the good, to keep sharing the goods, keep sharing the joy, right? And then clearly, the devil overtook me. Some dark force got into me and told me, you're not good enough, and this isn't good enough, or you're not looking good enough, or like I didn't have the energy, like something was weighing me down. And so even for me, it took a little literal catastrophe to get me back on here live. You see? So clearly I was disconnected from self, disconnected from God, disconnected from purpose, and I'm happy to be back here live and getting into the flow. So I'm gonna check the chat because I've had it like, I don't even know if anyone said anything this last 60 minutes, but I haven't been looking. I've just been kind of been vibing here, so. Oh, literally no one said anything, and that's okay. It happens sometimes. When I stream live, this I wanted to talk about too, before we go. So, when I was in, I recently went to one of my astrocartography lines in Newport to get an alignment. So your astrocartography line is a place on Earth that you can go to live your best life, basically, according to your birth chart. And one of my astrocartography lines is Newport, Rhode Island. And when I was there, I found these really amazing earrings. Super cheap. They were like $5. And they say Om Mani Padme Hum. Alright, free Tibet. Okay. And I was gonna wear them for this podcast, and it's so weird. I was wearing them yesterday, put them on my side table before bed. And when I went to go get them just now, one of the hooks was like mysteriously missing. So you want to talk about the weird and subtle ways that God speaks to me and the universe intervenes in my plans. This is a perfect example of that. Like, I literally took these out of my ears last night, placed them on the table next to my bed without touching them, went to go pick them up and put them on my ears.
What are you talking about?
My earrings, for this talk on Nepal and the flood and the hook. The hook. The fish hook. The hook is missing.
Actually, I want to keep it.
On this Om Mani Padme Hum earring.
Hey,
Like,
your baby. We want to take her.
make of it what you will, but it almost brings tears to my eyes. You know, it's funny how these things unravel. And you're seeing this in real time, like me having this realization. And you could say a million things, you know, oh, where did it go? Where did the hook go? Like, my earrings didn't move. My earrings didn't move. I took them out of my ears last night. I put them on the table. I went to pick them up for this live stream, and the hook is gone.
Whoa,
where's the hook?
Mama.
And it wasn't on the table.
Look what you gave birth to. Yeah. Weird.
So, this is not a fashion statement. Om Mani Padme Hum is a statement. And yes, we should free Tibet, without a doubt. And yes, all people should be at peace. And no, this is not a fashion statement anymore. This is a real Om Mani Padme Hum. And the more and more you watch me and the more I open up and share these things, you'll realize more and more how real this spiritual journey and this connection with God, with me, really is. And where that will lead me in life, where that will lead you in life through connecting with me is yet to be known. But I hope it's closer and closer to the genuine and true liberation of all beings. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum.
I don't know why she was going like that. Hey, our baby looks like
And it's
this.
funny because I literally just put my hand in my pocket
What?
to end this live stream, and the most important message came out at the last minute. God's timing is amazing, it's divine, and we all need to genuinely learn how to open up to it. And maybe it's through another human being. Like, maybe I'll have to accept that at some point, that to some people I might need to be a guru of sorts. But I will always strongly stand behind the message that no, your connection with God is something you need to find. And so many gurus have actually said this. before, but I don't think they pushed it as hard as I'm going to push it. Your connection with God is your own, and there are people here on this earth like Jesus, like Buddha, who will remind you in strong, powerful, tangible ways
I'm your owner.
that God has power over not just the spiritual realm, but this tangible reality that we live in. Over the mountains and the rivers, the buildings, the beings, the nature, the universe, the cosmos, over everything. God is not just in a church or in a book or in your soul. Everywhere. Om Mani Padme Hum. May you be blessed, and may everyone be blessed. There's so much love pouring out of me right now, and I just don't have the words to express it, and I hope you can feel it. I hope that that's coming through the screen to you. And I hope you can feel how real and how tangible and how palpable it is, and how real and tangible it's becoming, because I'm starting to catch these messages from God live. So, hook, fish, hook, fish, hook. Where's the hook? Like, I'm starting to catch it. I'm catching God on camera now. So, yeah, it's becoming real. Yeah. May you all be blessed, and thank you so much for joining this live stream with me. And if you understand this deeply, please, 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 please leave a thoughtful comment below talking about how you resonate with this, because I need to hear from you. The angels said, "Fear not," when they appeared, because that's what they do. Oftentimes, and this is an interesting story of the Buddha as well as Jesus. When Jesus went to his hometown, I said this in a previous message, the people from his hometown didn't receive any miracles from him because they didn't believe in him. They were still in their ego mind. When Buddha first became Buddha, people were searching for him. They couldn't find him. Siddhartha. They didn't recognize him. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the delusion that you live under in this world, where you think you're connecting with enlightened beings. You think you're on the path of Dharma, or the path of liberation, or the path of God, but you might be following the wrong prophet. You might be following a prophet who's out for profit. I feel deeply emotional about this, and happy though that this private journey that I've been on, communicating with God over all these years and all these little experiences, that I'm finally able to get beyond the miracle of it all to articulate it enough to share it with you, because that's where the message becomes palpable and potent and powerful. And I do foresee a day where one day I will get on here and say, hey, there's going to be a flood here at this time, and like prove it, you know. But it really comes down to me forging that stronger connection with God and believing in it, and not having that shadow of doubt that the devil, or some what is it, the devil, or Mara, or like that darkness of mind that makes me doubt that message, that clouds my thought process, that stops me from sharing that light. So where's the hook?
That's the hook for this video.
You'll
In videos, in video production, we talk about hooks.
be my
What's the hook? Where's the hook? What are you gonna do to hook the viewer? And I think it would be a miracle if with this hook, or this lack of a hook, or this hook,
Take her home. Yeah.
that I could catch the whole of humanity in that net, in God's net, with this hook. It's blowing my mind right now. It's really, and like, I don't know where the hook is. It's just another one of those funny things, like when that little fish appeared in my cabin in North Carolina, and I took a picture of it and I put it on my Instagram, and then it disappeared just like the hook. Disappeared off my nightstand. Where's the hook? I didn't tell anyone that I was gonna put this in my video today. I didn't tell anyone. Where is it?
Let me see it. I want to see the fish.
The fish disappeared.
I want to see it.
I have a picture of it, but it disappeared back into the ether.
Let me see.
I'll show it to you. I need my phone. Give me my phone and I'll pull up my Instagram picture of the
It
fish.
died
Oh,
though.
it died? Alright, well, I'll charge it and I'll show you after. But yeah, if you want to go see that fish that appeared to me as another symbol that I needed to leave North Carolina before the flood, you can go to my Instagram account. I think it's linked in my YouTube channel. Scroll down a bit, oh god, to whenever that, right, like a year before the flood. I don't even know what the date was, but whatever, just go through my Instagram. Eventually you'll see a little clay blue fish. And that fish just like appeared in my cabin, and it was so cute, and then it just like vanished. No idea where it went, just like my hook. That was there last night on my nightstand, and somehow, like magic, like a magician, just came off, and it's gone now. So, Om Mani Padme Hum. May all beings be blessed, may Tibet be free, and may all beings be happy and peaceful and find their liberation. Thank you so much for joining me for this live. I am going to run now, maybe quite literally. And again, like I said, if this hit home for you or whatever, please do not hesitate to leave a super lengthy comment about your feelings about God or the world or miracles or whatever you believe or don't believe in. I'm so looking forward to hearing from you. Much love to you all. Bye. Until I see you later.